If you're waiting for someone to feel sorry for you, to give you a handout, or to make things easier for you, you're in the wrong place. The truth is, nobody cares, no one is going to save you, and no one is going to hand you success on a silver platter. The world doesn't owe you anything. But here's the thing, you don't need anyone else to make your dreams come true. You have everything you need inside you to create the life you want. But it's going to take one thing: hard work. The kind of work that goes unnoticed, the kind of work that doesn't get applause, the kind of work that only you will see. It's not glamorous, and it's not easy, but it's exactly what separates those who succeed from those who fall short. If you're serious about reaching your goals, if you want to build the life you've always dreamed of, then you need to get up and work harder. This isn't about waiting for the perfect moment. This is about taking action, making decisions, and showing up every single day. It's about discipline, persistence, and resilience. You've got to push yourself, even when it feels tough, even when no one is watching. If you're ready to stop making excuses and start making progress, this is for you. The question isn't whether you have what it takes, it's whether you're willing to work for it. Stick with me, because in the next few minutes, we're going to talk about how to get up, stay disciplined, and keep going until you succeed. Chapter 1. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. The world doesn't care. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to wake up in the morning, think about your struggles, and decide to fix your life for you. No one cares how tired you are, how unfair life has been, or how many times you've been knocked down. And that is the best thing you could ever realize, because the moment you stop waiting for someone else to give you a break, you take full control of your life. That is when real power begins. That is when everything changes. Every single second you spend feeling sorry for yourself is a second wasted. You don't have time to sit around and dwell on how hard things are. The world is moving forward with or without you. Right now, someone else with the same struggles, the same disadvantages, the same obstacles, is out there grinding, pushing, and finding a way to make it happen. They aren't waiting for perfect conditions. They aren't crying about how unfair life is. They're getting up, putting in the work, and forcing life to give them what they want. And you know what? They are the ones who win. They are the ones who make it. They are the ones who refuse to quit, refuse to complain, and refuse to accept anything less than what they know they deserve. It's easy to sit back and tell yourself that life has been unfair. Maybe it has. Maybe you grew up in a tough situation. Maybe you didn't get the same opportunities as other people. Maybe you've had to fight harder just to survive. But guess what? Life doesn't hand out trophies for suffering. No one is walking around giving out rewards for who had it the hardest. The only thing that matters is what you do with what you have. And if you waste time feeling sorry for yourself, you will lose every time. The problem is, self-pity feels good in the moment. It feels like a warm blanket. It gives you an excuse. It tells you that it's okay to stop trying, that it's okay to settle, that it's okay to wait for things to get better. But that's a lie. That is the trap that keeps people stuck for years, even decades. Because while you're sitting there feeling bad for yourself, time is slipping away. While you're focused on what's wrong, someone else is out there doing what needs to be done. Nobody owes you anything. No one is going to hand you success because they feel sorry for you. If you want something, you have to take it. That means getting up when you don't feel like it. That means pushing through when everything in you is screaming to quit. That means understanding that nobody cares about your excuses, your emotions, or your struggles, only your results. And that should fuel you, not break you. That should light a fire inside of you, because once you realize that no one is coming to save you, you understand that you are your only chance. The people who win in life aren't the ones who complain the loudest. They aren't the ones who talk about how unfair everything is. They aren't the ones who look around waiting for someone to fix their problems. They are the ones who get up early, who stay late, who keep going long after everyone else has quit. They are the ones who decide, no matter what, that they will not stop until they reach their goal. You have to make that decision. You have to decide that you are done waiting, done complaining, done making excuses. You have to decide that nothing, not your past, not your circumstances, not your failures, is going to stop you. You have to decide that you are going to get up every single day and do the work, no matter what. Because at the end of the day, nobody cares how hard it is. The only thing that matters is whether or not you did what needed to be done. And if you're sitting there thinking, but I've tried everything and it's still not working, then try harder, try smarter, try longer. Because if you haven't made it yet, that means there is still something you haven't done. That means there is still a level of effort, a level of commitment, a level of sacrifice that you have not reached. And until you do, nothing will change. Pain is the price of success. Struggle is the entry fee. No one gets a free pass. No one gets to skip the hard part. If you want it, you have to earn it. If you want to win, you have to be willing to do what most people won't. You have to be willing to suffer now so you can live how you want later. You have to be willing to wake up every morning, look yourself in the mirror, and say, I don't care how I feel. I don't care how hard it is. I will not stop. The world doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about how tired you are. It doesn't care about how much you've struggled. It only cares about whether or not you show up, whether or not you do the work, whether or not you fight for the life you say you want. So stop waiting for sympathy. Stop looking for an easy way out. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Get up, work harder, and make it happen. Because nobody else is going to do it for you. Chapter 2. No one owes you anything. You either earn it or stay stuck. Nobody owes you anything. Not a single thing. No one is coming to hand you success, give you an easy life, or make sure everything works out for you. If you don't get up and take what you want, you will stay exactly where you are. This is the truth that most people refuse to accept, and that's why they stay stuck. They waste years waiting for someone to recognize them, waiting for a lucky break, waiting for life to finally be fair. But life is not fair. It never was, and it never will be. And the sooner you stop expecting it to be, the sooner you'll start making real progress. It's a brutal realization, but it's also the most freeing thing in the world. The moment you accept that no one owes you anything, you stop waiting and start doing. You stop blaming and start building. You stop expecting people to fix your problems and start fixing them yourself. That is where true power begins. That is when you become unstoppable. Because when you take responsibility for everything in your life, you gain control. And when you have control, you can change everything. If you're sitting there thinking about how unfair life is, how you've been treated poorly, how others have had more advantages, stop. That mindset will ruin you. It will keep you weak. It will convince you that you deserve something without putting in the work. But the truth is, no matter how unfair your circumstances are, you still have to earn everything. Nobody is going to feel bad enough for you to give you success. Nobody is going to hand you the life you want just because you've struggled. The only way forward is through effort, consistency, and an unbreakable mindset. Entitlement is the poison that kills potential. The moment you believe you are owed something is the moment you lose. The second you start thinking, I deserve this just because you put yourself in a position of weakness, Because the world does not care what you think you deserve. The world rewards those who grind, who push forward no matter what, who wake up every day and put in the work. You either earn it or you stay stuck. Those are the only two options. And let's be honest, the people you admire, the ones who have built incredible lives, didn't get there by waiting around. They didn't get lucky. They didn't sit back and hope someone would give them a handout. They fought for it. They worked for it. They refused to accept anything less. And if you want to reach that level, you have to do the same. You have to be willing to outwork, outlast, and outperform everyone else. Success isn't about talent. It isn't about intelligence. It isn't about luck. It's about doing what others refuse to do. It's about waking up early, staying up late, and pushing through when everything in you wants to quit. It's about making sacrifices, taking risks, and putting yourself in uncomfortable situations to grow. It's about taking full ownership of your life, knowing that if you fail, it's on you, and if you win, it's because you earned it. If you want something, prove it. Prove it with your actions, not your words. Prove it by showing up every single day, no matter how you feel. Prove it by refusing to make excuses, by refusing to blame others, by refusing to let your circumstances define you. Because the truth is, the world doesn't reward the ones who talk about what they want. It rewards the ones who go out and take it. People will complain that they didn't get the opportunities they deserved. They'll say the system is rigged against them. They'll say they tried, but it didn't work. But here's the reality: you either adapt or you lose. If one path is blocked, you find another. If one door is closed, you kick down another. If one strategy fails, you try something else. Because the people who make it aren't the ones who complain about how hard it is. They're the ones who figure it out, no matter what. You can either spend your time resenting those who have what you want, or you can learn from them. You can either sit back and whine about how unfair life is, or you can get up and do something about it. Those are your choices. And if you choose to sit and wait, if you choose to expect someone else to make things easier for you, then you will stay stuck. That's the reality. The harsh truth is that no one is thinking about you as much as you think they are. No one is sitting around wondering how they can make your life better. Everyone is focused on their own struggles, their own challenges, their own goals, and that means if you don't take control of your own life, no one else will. You can either take responsibility and start building the life you want, or you can wait and watch as nothing changes. You want something? Go get it. You want a better life? Work for it. You want to be successful? Earn it, because the world isn't going to give you anything. It never has, and it never will. And once you accept that, once you truly understand that you are the only person responsible for your future, you become powerful. You become dangerous. You become the kind of person who makes things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. So stop looking for handouts. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop expecting life to be fair. Get up, do the work, and make it happen. Because no one owes you anything. You either earn it, or you stay exactly where you are. Chapter 3. Your feelings don't matter. Discipline does. When you feel like giving up, when the world feels too heavy, and when everything inside you says, just stop, that's the exact moment you need to keep going. Because here's the truth: your feelings don't matter. What matters is your discipline. Discipline is the only thing that's going to pull you through the tough times. It's the invisible force that will keep you on track when the world tries to knock you down. It's the one thing that will make the difference between success and failure. And if you can master it, There's no limit to what you can achieve. So let's get this straight. Your feelings don't define you, and they certainly don't determine your future. They're nothing more than temporary emotional responses to circumstances. Sure, they're real. Sure, they might feel overwhelming, but they don't control your life unless you let them. The fact that you're tired, frustrated, anxious, or fearful doesn't mean it's time to quit. It means it's time to dig deeper, get more disciplined, and keep going, regardless of how you feel. You've probably heard it 1,000 times before. Follow your heart. Trust your feelings. Go with what feels right. But here's the cold, hard truth. Your heart and your feelings can be wrong. They're often misled by your current emotional state, by the challenges you're facing, and by the easy path that looks so tempting when you're tired. They don't give you the clarity you need to reach your goals. Only your discipline can do that. Look around. Success doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care if you're motivated, inspired, or in a good mood. Success cares about what you do every single day, even when you don't feel like it. It cares about your commitment to showing up, doing the work, and pushing through when everything inside you is screaming to take a break. Discipline is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who only dream. Discipline is the muscle that strengthens you when life tries to tear you apart. It's the structure that holds you steady when everything else seems to be falling apart. Feelings are fleeting, but discipline is the foundation of success. Think about it. Every person you admire, every person who's achieved something great, has one thing in common: they've developed an unshakable discipline. Whether it's an athlete training for a championship, an entrepreneur building a business, or an artist perfecting their craft, they've all learned to push through the tough times and keep going. They've learned that the way to greatness is not by listening to their feelings, but by mastering their discipline. You're no different. You can do the same. You have the power within you to push past your feelings and stay committed to the process, even when it gets hard. And trust me, it will get hard. The journey is never easy, but that's what makes it worth it. The struggles, the setbacks, and the frustrations are what mold you into a person capable of achieving something extraordinary. You need to learn to make discipline your default setting. When you wake up, don't ask yourself how you feel. Don't wait for motivation to strike. Just get to work. You're not going to feel like working every day, and that's okay. In fact, that's expected. But you do it anyway because that's what discipline is: doing the work no matter what. It's about committing to your goals and staying on course, even when the road gets tough. This doesn't mean you'll never have bad days. Of course you will. We all do. But on those days, discipline will be the anchor that keeps you grounded. It's the force that will push you to keep going, even when your mind is telling you to quit. It's the difference between looking back at the end of the week and feeling proud of what you've accomplished, and looking back with regret, wishing you'd done more. Let's talk about how discipline works in practice. It's not about massive leaps forward every day. It's about showing up every single day, doing the work and making small progress. That's how you build momentum. That's how you achieve long-term success. You don't have to be perfect, but you do need to be consistent. Discipline means making progress every day, no matter how small, and trusting that those small efforts will eventually add up to something big. Imagine this: you wake up early, you go for a run, you sit down to work on your goals, and you push through the hard stuff. You might not feel like it. You might want to stay in bed. But you do it anyway, because you know that discipline is more important than your momentary feelings. That day you might only write 200 words, but guess what? You're 200 words closer to your goal than you were yesterday. That's discipline. That's progress. Now think about the opposite. What if you listened to your feelings and didn't get out of bed? What if you told yourself you'd start tomorrow, or next week, or after you feel more motivated? That's how dreams get delayed. That's how you end up stuck in the same place year after year. Your feelings will always find a reason not to take action. Your feelings will always try to convince you that you deserve a break. But when you develop discipline, you override those feelings. You make your actions non-negotiable. I know it's not easy. There will be days when you're exhausted, days when you feel overwhelmed, days when you think, I just can't do this anymore. And on those days, discipline is the only thing that will pull you through. It's not about relying on motivation, because motivation fades. It's about relying on the habits you've built, the routines you've created, and the commitment you've made to your goals. Here's the thing, life doesn't care if you're tired. The world doesn't care if you're having a rough day. The world is moving forward, and either you move with it, or you get left behind. So what are you going to do? Are you going to give in to your feelings and stay stuck, or are you going to build the discipline to keep moving forward, no matter what? You've got to train yourself to be disciplined, even when it feels uncomfortable. You've got to push yourself to do the things that are hard, even when every part of you wants to quit. Because the truth is, you won't get to where you want to be by taking the easy route. You won't achieve your goals by listening to your feelings. You'll only get there by building the discipline to keep moving forward, day after day. So what does this look like in your life? It looks like creating a schedule and sticking to it, even when you'd rather be doing something else. It means setting goals and working toward them every single day, even when you don't feel like it. It means pushing through the tough moments, the moments when your feelings try to convince you to stop. Discipline is about building habits that take you closer to your goals, whether you're motivated or not. And here's the kicker, the more disciplined you become, the less you'll rely on your feelings. You'll start to operate on autopilot, doing the things you need to do without having to think about it. Discipline will become second nature, and before you know it, you'll be a person who gets things done no matter what. This is your challenge. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop relying on your feelings. Start relying on your discipline. Build the habits that will move you toward your goals, even when you don't feel like it. Because in the end, the only thing that will matter is how disciplined you were in pursuing your dreams. Chapter 4. You are not special, but you can be unstoppable. The truth is simple, but powerful. You're not special. You're not destined for greatness, just because you exist. And you're definitely not going to get to the top because of your unique talents or some magical quality that sets you apart from everyone else. But here's the flip side. If you understand that you're not special and you embrace it, you can become unstoppable. You can outwork everyone, outlast everyone, and achieve things that others only dream of. It's not about being born with some extraordinary gift. It's about choosing to be relentless, to be disciplined, and to show up every single day with an unbreakable commitment to your goals. The problem with thinking you're special is that it leads to complacency. It leads to the belief that success is somehow owed to you, that your unique qualities will automatically guarantee that you'll get ahead. But the world doesn't work that way. It doesn't owe you anything. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you can start focusing on what really matters. The work, the grind, the relentless pursuit of becoming better than you were yesterday. You might look at other people who seem to have everything handed to them. They may have connections, a network, or a skill set that you don't. You may even feel like they have an easier path than you. But what you don't see is the work that's gone on behind the scenes. What you don't see are the sacrifices, the failures, the late nights, and the endless grind that they've put in. Success doesn't care who you are or where you come from. It doesn't care if you have a natural talent for something or if you struggle every step of the way. What matters is what you do with the opportunities you have. This is where the concept of being unstoppable comes in. You might not be born with some innate talent or special skill, but you can choose to outwork anyone. You can choose to push through the barriers that most people would give up on. You can make up for any lack of natural ability with sheer persistence, discipline, and determination. And that, my friend, is what makes you unstoppable. Success doesn't come from waiting for the right opportunity. It doesn't come from hoping that someone will notice you and give you a chance. Success comes from taking what you've got, no matter how little that might seem, and doing everything in your power to make it work. It's about relentless action, making small improvements every day, and refusing to quit when the going gets tough. That's what separates the winners from the rest of the crowd. That's what makes someone unstoppable. Think about the people you admire, the ones who've achieved the kind of success you dream of. Did they get there because they were special? Did they get there because they were born with some unique trait that others didn't have? Of course not. They got there because they put in the work. They got there because they were willing to show up day after day, even when things weren't easy, even when it would have been easier to quit. They were willing to fail, to fall, to get up again, and to keep pushing forward. Now you may be thinking, that sounds great, but I don't have what it takes. I don't have the skills, the talent, or the connections. But here's the truth. None of that matters. You have exactly what you need to start. You have your time, your energy, your ability to take action, and your mindset. And with those things, you can achieve anything. You have to stop thinking of success as something that's given to you. Success is something you earn. It's something you build. It's the result of your efforts, your discipline, and your willingness to keep going when everyone else would give up. The sooner you realize that you're not special, the sooner you'll stop waiting for someone to hand you success and start taking the steps to earn it yourself. There are no shortcuts in life. The only way to achieve something meaningful is through hard work, persistence, and the ability to keep pushing even when things don't go as planned. The path to success is not a straight line. It's filled with obstacles, setbacks, and failures. But those who become unstoppable aren't the ones who avoid the struggle. They're the ones who embrace it, learn from it, and use it to fuel their journey. You've got to stop looking for easy answers. Stop looking for a magic formula or the one perfect piece of advice that's going to change everything. The truth is, the only thing that will change your life is your commitment to doing the work. It's your decision to stop making excuses and start taking action. And you don't have to do it all at once. You just have to start and then keep going. Every day, no matter how hard it gets. One of the most powerful things you can do for yourself is to develop a mindset that refuses to quit. It's not about having an innate gift or some special talent. It's about knowing that no matter what comes your way, you're going to keep going. You're going to get up every time you fall. You're going to push through the tough days, the days when nothing seems to be going right. You're going to keep putting in the work, even when it feels like no one is watching or recognizing your efforts. And eventually, that consistency will pay off. The key to becoming unstoppable is to make failure your friend. When you fail, it's not the end. It's just part of the process. It's feedback, not defeat. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to get better. You can't be afraid of it. You have to embrace it because it's through failure that you develop the resilience and the mental toughness that will allow you to keep going when everyone else gives up. Imagine how powerful you would be if you decided right now that no matter what, you would never quit. Imagine what would happen if you showed up every single day, did the work, and kept improving, even when things got hard. It doesn't matter where you start. What matters is where you finish. And if you can commit to being unstoppable, to putting in the effort day in and day out, there's nothing that can stop you from achieving your dreams. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop believing that success is something only a few people can achieve. Success is for anyone who's willing to put in the work. It's for anyone who's willing to show up every day, no matter how they feel, and do what needs to be done. That's the key. That's what makes you unstoppable. When you stop thinking you're special and start embracing the power of relentless action, that's when everything changes. That's when you become the person who doesn't just dream of success, but makes it a reality. You might not be special in the way you once thought, but with the right mindset and the right work ethic, you can become unstoppable. And that's what matters. That's the secret to success. Chapter 5. Stop wasting time. You're running out of it. Every minute you waste today is a minute you'll never get back. That time is gone, and it's never coming back. So ask yourself, how much of your life are you willing to throw away on distractions, procrastination, and excuses? Time is the one thing we can't get more of, and yet we act like it's infinite. We squander it, hoping that somehow we'll catch up later, as if tomorrow will magically give us the time we need to make up for what we lost. But the truth is brutal. Tomorrow doesn't owe you anything. Tomorrow is just a continuation of today, and today is slipping away faster than you can even realize. Look around at the people you admire, the successful ones, the ones who seem to have it all figured out. What separates them from the ones who are stuck, who are spinning their wheels, who never seem to get ahead? It's not talent, it's not luck, it's the way they use their time. They don't waste it. They don't sit around waiting for the perfect moment. They don't put things off until tomorrow. They get to work, right now, in this moment. And that's why they're where they are, and you're still here. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but what we do with that time makes all the difference. You might think you have plenty of time to get your life in order, to work on your goals, to chase your dreams. But the truth is, you're not promised that time. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, and neither is next year. Time doesn't care if you think you'll get around to it eventually. It doesn't wait for you to be ready. Time just keeps moving forward, with or without you. So you have to stop wasting it. Now. Right now. The clock is ticking, and every second you sit idly by is a second you'll never get back. The worst thing you can do is wait for a perfect moment to start. The perfect moment doesn't exist. There will always be distractions, obstacles, and reasons why you shouldn't start now. But those are just excuses. If you keep waiting for everything to line up, you'll be waiting forever. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who act. Now, today. The people who achieve greatness don't wait for the stars to align. They align themselves with the work. They focus on what's within their control, and they get started. Time is their ally, because they make it their ally. The clock doesn't stop for anyone. It doesn't slow down because you're feeling overwhelmed or uncertain. Time keeps moving, and you're either keeping up with it or falling behind. And if you're falling behind, it's not the world's fault. It's not because life is unfair or because you don't have enough opportunities. It's because you've chosen to waste your time. You've chosen to let distractions, comfort, and fear stop you from taking action. The world doesn't owe you success, but you owe it to yourself to make the most of the time you have. When you look at your life, what do you see? How much time have you wasted on things that didn't matter? How many hours have you spent scrolling through social media, binge-watching shows, or procrastinating on tasks that you knew you should have been doing? Those hours are gone. They're never coming back. But there's still time left. And that's what matters. You can't change the past, but you can control what you do with the time you have left. And that's what separates those who succeed from those who fail, how they choose to use their time. You need to start thinking of time as your most valuable resource. It's more valuable than money, more valuable than possessions, and more valuable than any material thing you can acquire. Because once time is gone, it's gone for good. You can always make more money, but you can never make more time. And that's why it's crucial to stop wasting it. Stop procrastinating. Stop making excuses. Stop putting things off until tomorrow. Because tomorrow doesn't exist. The only time you have is right now. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking they have all the time in the world. They think that they'll get to their goals eventually. But that day never comes. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready. It moves forward whether you're ready or not. If you want to make a change, if you want to reach your full potential, you have to take action now. You have to start today, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. The only moment that matters is this one. And what you do in this moment will determine where you end up tomorrow, next year, and 10 years from now. The reason you're not where you want to be in life is because you've been wasting time. You've been procrastinating, making excuses, and hoping that things will somehow work themselves out. But nothing works itself out. Nothing happens by accident. Everything you achieve is the result of the time and effort you put in. So it's time to stop wasting it. It's time to stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. The perfect moment is today. And you can't afford to wait any longer. It's time to get real with yourself. Time doesn't care about your excuses, your fears, or your doubts. Time is relentless. It doesn't wait for you to feel confident, or ready, or inspired. It moves forward no matter what. So you either decide to make it work for you, or you'll be left behind. You have to stop waiting for the right time, the right circumstances, or the right feelings. You just have to start right now, with what you have, where you are. The people who get ahead in life are the ones who make the most of every moment. They understand that time is the most precious resource they have, and they use it wisely. They don't waste time on things that don't matter. They don't waste time on distractions. They don't waste time on things that won't bring them closer to their goals. They focus on what's important, and they act on it. They know that every minute counts, and they make sure that every minute they spend is moving them closer to their vision. So stop wasting time. Stop making excuses. Stop putting things off for tomorrow. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. You don't know how much time you have left. All you have is right now. And that's all you need. You have everything you need to make progress today. Don't wait for the stars to align. Don't wait for the perfect circumstances. Just start. Because time is the one thing you can't get back. And if you don't start now, you'll be left wondering what could have been. Get up, take action, and stop wasting time. You're running out of it. Your future depends on what you do today, in this moment. So make it count. Make every minute, every hour, every day work for you, because you won't get another chance to make today count. Chapter 6. Comfort will destroy you. Seek struggle. Instead, comfort is the slow killer. It's the smooth, seductive trap that lures you in, convinces you that everything's fine, and that you deserve a break. The world whispers that it's okay to relax, that you've worked hard enough, that you can take it easy now. It tells you that peace comes from ease, and that success will come naturally if you just wait for the right moment. But let me make one thing crystal clear. Comfort will destroy you. It will hold you back, keep you stagnant, and rob you of the greatness you are capable of achieving. If you're not careful, comfort will become the very thing that guarantees your failure. No one ever achieved anything significant by sitting back, waiting, or staying in their comfort zone. The greatest minds, the most successful people, and those who have changed the world, they all sought struggle, pain, and discomfort, because that's where growth lives. Growth is uncomfortable. Transformation is uncomfortable. If you want to push yourself to new heights, if you want to become the best version of yourself, you have to embrace struggle. You have to lean into discomfort, because that's where the magic happens. Let me ask you this. What's the last challenge you faced? The last real struggle you put yourself through? If you can't answer that question, it's a wake-up call, because you cannot grow without pushing yourself beyond your limits. You cannot build resilience if you're always choosing the easy path. Comfort doesn't teach you anything. Comfort doesn't help you develop strength. Comfort doesn't help you achieve greatness. Struggle does. Look, the reason you feel stuck is because you're too comfortable. You've found a routine that feels good enough, and that's dangerous. It's not about what feels comfortable. It's about what's required to get where you want to go. The most successful people are the ones who actively seek challenges. They don't wait for opportunities to come knocking. They don't wait for life to hand them an easy path. They go after the hardest tasks because they understand that's how you level up. Here's the truth. It's the struggle that forges character. It's the struggle that pushes you to expand your limits. It's the struggle that reveals what you're truly capable of. Every time you face hardship, you have a choice. Either you let it defeat you, or you use it to grow stronger. The people who thrive in life aren't the ones who avoid discomfort. They're the ones who welcome it. They know that the pain, the struggle, the difficulty, it's all part of the process. It's all necessary if you want to succeed. We live in a society that is constantly offering us shortcuts, quick fixes, and instant gratification. And while it feels good in the moment, it never leads to real success. Think about it. When was the last time you worked for something, truly worked for something, and didn't give up when it got hard? That's where the real breakthroughs happen. That's where the people who are truly successful in life are made. They aren't the ones who take the easy route. They're the ones who refuse to give up, even when everything seems to be working against them. They're the ones who seek out the challenges, the obstacles, and the difficult situations, because they know that's where the growth happens. They understand that if it doesn't challenge them, it won't change them. When you start seeking discomfort, everything changes. The old version of you, the one who always avoided the hard stuff, fades away. You start becoming someone new, someone stronger, someone more capable. But here's the thing. You won't become that person by staying where you are. You won't grow by staying in the same comfortable routine. You have to stretch yourself. You have to push yourself to do things that scare you, things that make you uncomfortable, things that make you doubt yourself. Because that's where the growth lies. That's where you'll find your true strength. Look around. The people who are excelling in life, the ones who are crushing it, they're the ones who refuse to settle. They're the ones who refuse to take the easy route. They understand that nothing worth having comes without effort. They embrace the discomfort because they know that every time they do, They're getting one step closer to their goals. They're not waiting for the perfect circumstances. They're not waiting for things to feel just right. They're making the most of every single opportunity to stretch themselves, to push their boundaries, and to grow. If you want to be extraordinary, you have to stop playing it safe. The comfort zone is a beautiful place to visit, but it's a horrible place to live. It's the place where dreams die. It's the place where your potential is wasted, where your true power remains untapped. If you want to achieve greatness, you have to step outside that zone. You have to challenge yourself to do what's hard, what's scary, what's uncomfortable. You have to train your mind to embrace discomfort, not avoid it. Because the moment you do that, everything changes. Struggle is not your enemy, it's your ally. It's the thing that builds you up, that makes you stronger, that forces you to evolve. The key to life is not avoiding struggle, it's learning how to navigate it. And the only way to get better at handling struggle is to seek it out, to face it head on, and to learn from it. You're not going to grow by waiting for life to get easier. Life doesn't get easier, but you get stronger, you get smarter, you get more resilient. And with that comes success. So stop avoiding the hard work. Stop looking for the shortcut. Stop hoping that somehow things will magically improve without any effort on your part. It's not going to happen. Success doesn't come without sacrifice, and it doesn't come without struggle. But here's the beautiful part. The more you seek discomfort, the stronger you get. The more you push yourself, the more you achieve. The more you get out of your comfort zone, the more you become the person you were meant to be. The person who doesn't shrink away from challenges. The person who faces them with courage, confidence and strength. So what's it going to be? Are you going to stay in your comfort zone and wonder why things never change? Or are you going to step out, take on the challenges, and do the hard work it takes to become the best version of yourself? The choice is yours. But know this, if you're not seeking struggle, you're not growing. If you're not seeking discomfort, you're staying stuck. And if you're staying stuck, you're never going to reach your true potential. Comfort will always be there, waiting to lull you into complacency. But greatness is found outside your comfort zone. It's found in the struggle, in the sweat, in the discomfort. And that's where you need to be. Don't wait for life to hand you an easy path. Don't wait for the perfect circumstances. Embrace the struggle and let it transform you. The struggle is where you'll find your strength. It's where you'll find your power. And it's where you'll find the success you've been looking for. Chapter 7. Rejection and failure mean nothing. Keep going. They are simply stepping stones on the path to your success. The sooner you come to understand this, the sooner you'll stop being afraid of them and start using them to fuel your growth. Every time you face rejection, every time you fail, you're not falling down. You're moving forward. You're learning. You're evolving. And you're growing stronger. The most successful people in the world have failed more times than they've succeeded. They didn't let failure define them. They let it drive them. What people don't tell you about failure is that it's not just inevitable, it's essential. The world doesn't owe you success. Nobody is going to hand it to you on a silver platter. It's going to be a constant battle, and along the way, you will face rejection. You will fail. But that doesn't mean it's over. Far from it. Rejection and failure are your greatest teachers. They show you where you need to improve. They reveal the weaknesses you didn't know you had, and they push you to become better, stronger, more resilient. If you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. If you're not facing rejection, you're not stepping out of your comfort zone. It's easy to let rejection get to you. When you put your heart and soul into something, when you give it your all, and then it doesn't work out, it can feel like a punch to the gut. It can leave you questioning everything: your ability, your worth, your purpose. But the truth is, failure doesn't define you. It's simply a reflection of where you are, not where you're going. Rejection is just the universe telling you, not yet. It's the reminder that you haven't learned the lessons you need to learn in order to succeed. It's the universe's way of saying, keep going, keep pushing, keep improving. But here's the catch: if you let rejection and failure stop you, you'll never know what you're capable of. If you let them dictate your path, you will stay stuck in the same place, never moving forward, never growing, never getting closer to your goals. The successful people in the world didn't get there by playing it safe, by avoiding rejection or failure. They got there by continuing to move forward, even when it seemed impossible. They kept going, even when the odds were stacked against them. They knew that failure was just part of the process, and they refused to let it break them. Failure doesn't hurt as much when you shift your perspective. Instead of seeing failure as something negative, as something to be feared, start seeing it as a gift. Every time you fail, you're learning something valuable. Every time you're rejected, you're getting one step closer to the breakthrough you need. Most people give up after 1 or 2 failures, but the ones who succeed are the ones who keep going, no matter how many times they fall down. They get up, dust themselves off, and try again. They use their failures as fuel to push them harder. The thing is, we often look at successful people and think, they're lucky. We see their achievements and think they must have had some magical advantage, some perfect formula that made everything work out. What we don't see is the years of rejection, the failures, the setbacks, and the countless moments when they wanted to quit but didn't. What we don't see is the inner strength they developed by refusing to give up. They kept going, and that's what made all the difference. You will face rejection. You will fail. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And when that moment comes, it's up to you to decide how you're going to respond. Are you going to let it break you, or are you going to let it make you stronger? The choice is always yours. Every time you fail, you have 2 options. You can either quit, or you can get up and try again. You can either let the setback define you, or you can use it as the catalyst for your next breakthrough. Look at the people who inspire you, the ones who have achieved the success you dream about. Do you think they didn't face rejection? Do you think they didn't fail along the way? Of course they did, but they didn't let it stop them. They didn't let failure dictate their future. They used it as motivation to keep going. They took the rejection, the failure, and they used it to fuel their determination to succeed. The reality is that failure is the key to success. Every failure teaches you something valuable. Every rejection moves you closer to the person you're meant to become. If you want to succeed, you have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to put yourself out there, take risks, and face rejection. But most importantly, you have to be willing to keep going, no matter how many times you fall down. Here's the thing about failure: it's temporary. It doesn't last forever. It's just a chapter in your story, not the entire book. Every time you fail, you're one step closer to your goals. Every time you face rejection, you're learning what doesn't work, so you can try something new. The people who succeed are the ones who don't let rejection define them. They don't let failure hold them back. They embrace it, learn from it, and keep going. That's what separates them from everyone else. They understand that success isn't a straight line. It's a journey filled with ups and downs, twists and turns, and plenty of failure. But the key to success is simple: don't stop. You have to keep going, even when it gets tough. Even when rejection stings and failure feels unbearable, You have to remind yourself that it's all part of the process. You have to trust the journey, even when the path is unclear. And above all, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that failure isn't the end of the road. It's just the beginning of something greater. When you're rejected, when you fail, don't take it personally. It's not a reflection of your worth. It's just part of the process. Every failure brings you closer to success. Every rejection is a lesson learned. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. The key is to keep moving forward, no matter what, because if you keep going, no matter how many times you fail, no matter how many doors get slammed in your face, you will eventually succeed. Failure doesn't define you. Rejection doesn't define you. What defines you is how you respond. Are you going to let failure stop you, or are you going to keep going? Are you going to let rejection hold you back, or are you going to use it to fuel your determination to succeed? The choice is yours, and the most successful people in the world are the ones who made the decision to keep going, no matter what, and you can do the same. Keep going, keep fighting, keep believing. Your success is just around the corner. Chapter 8. Outwork everyone. The real shortcut to success. If you want to succeed, outwork everyone. There is no shortcut, no secret formula to success, no magical key that unlocks instant achievements. But here's the truth. There is one way to beat everyone else, and that is to put in more work than anyone is willing to do. It's simple, but it's not easy. The difference between the average and the exceptional comes down to one thing: how much effort they are willing to put in when no one is watching. The ones who rise to the top aren't the ones with the easiest path. They're the ones who pushed through the hardest days, the ones who outlasted the competition, the ones who kept going long after others gave up. In this world, there will always be someone smarter, someone more talented, someone who has advantages you might not have. And if you let that stop you, you'll always find reasons to justify why you shouldn't try, why you shouldn't push yourself further. But here's a secret: hard work always beats talent when talent doesn't work hard enough. It's the simple truth that separates the dreamers from the doers. The world will throw countless challenges your way, and it's easy to use those challenges as excuses to slow down, take a break, or even quit altogether. But the ones who succeed are the ones who keep grinding, day after day, no matter what. You need to stop looking for the easy way out. There is no elevator to the top, only the stairs. And while everyone else is looking for a shortcut, the ones who succeed are the ones putting in the hard, grueling hours, inching their way up, one step at a time. Most people look at success as this mysterious thing that happens to a lucky few. They want to know the secret, the trick, the hidden insight that will launch them into greatness without any effort. But the truth is, the secret to success is hard work, and most people aren't willing to do it. So while they sit and wait for the perfect moment, you're in the trenches, putting in the work that will set you apart from the rest. The reason why most people don't achieve their dreams isn't because they're not capable, it's because they're not willing to do what it takes to get there. They want the rewards without the effort, the accolades without the sacrifice, the success without the grind. But here's the harsh reality: you can't expect to reach the top without climbing, and the climb isn't easy. It's tough, it's exhausting, but it's worth it. Every hour you put in, every extra mile you go, every time you push past your limits, you're building something that most people are too afraid to even try. That's how you get ahead. That's how you win. It's not by taking shortcuts or waiting for things to get easier. It's by doing the work, day in and day out, no matter how hard it gets. And the thing is, most people give up right before the breakthrough. They'll work hard for a little while, and then when they don't see immediate results, they throw in the towel. But those who succeed, The ones who rise above the rest are the ones who don't stop when things get hard. They keep going. They show up every single day and give it their all, even when they don't feel like it. They understand that the results will come, but only if they keep putting in the work. The real shortcut to success is relentless consistency. There's a powerful force in the act of showing up, even when you're tired, even when you don't feel like it, even when it seems like no one is noticing. The real winners are the ones who work hard, even when there's no applause, no recognition, no rewards. They don't need validation from anyone else. They are driven by the belief that the effort they put in will pay off, eventually, and that belief fuels them to push through the toughest days. They don't need instant gratification. They need progress. They understand that the path to success is built brick by brick, and they're willing to lay each brick, no matter how long it takes. Think about the people you admire, the ones who have achieved greatness. Do you think they got there by taking it easy? Do you think they reached their success by sitting back and waiting for the perfect opportunity to come their way? Of course not. They got there by putting in more work than anyone else. They sacrificed comfort, they sacrificed time, they sacrificed ease, all for the sake of reaching their goals. They worked when others rested, they studied when others played, they pushed when others hesitated. They knew that hard work was the only true shortcut. Now, I want you to think about your own life. What are you doing right now to outwork everyone else? What are you doing today, this very moment, that's pushing you closer to your goals? It's easy to get distracted, to get comfortable, to let the world around you dictate how much effort you put in. But in the end, it's your choice. You can choose to give the minimum and hope for the best, or you can choose to go all in and outwork everyone around you. The choice is always yours. The truth is, success doesn't care how talented you are. It doesn't care how lucky you are. It doesn't care what advantages you have. Success only cares about one thing: how much work you're willing to put in. So if you want to rise above the rest, if you want to achieve the things you've always dreamed of, you have to be willing to outwork everyone. You have to be the one who shows up first and leaves last. You have to be the one who puts in the extra hours, who sacrifices the easy road for the harder, more rewarding one. You have to be the one who keeps going when everyone else has given up. You can't wait for the right moment or the perfect conditions. The truth is, the perfect moment doesn't exist. It's up to you to create that moment by putting in the work every single day. So stop waiting. Stop looking for excuses. Stop telling yourself that you'll work harder tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised. The only moment you have is right now. So get to work. Outwork everyone. Because the ones who succeed are the ones who show up day after day and put in the work that no one else is willing to do. They are the ones who win, and you can be one of them, but only if you choose to outwork everyone else. The real shortcut to success is hard work. So start now. Chapter 9. Control your mind, or it will control you. If you want to change your life, you have to control your mind. Simple as that. Your mind is either going to work for you or against you. The choice is yours. You might think that your circumstances, your environment, your relationships, or your past are holding you back. But the truth is, the only thing standing between you and your success is the way you think. You can either master your thoughts or let your thoughts master you. The minute you realize that your mind is the key to unlocking everything you want in life is the minute your world starts to shift. Your mind is incredibly powerful. It can either be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. It can lift you up and give you the strength to take on anything, or it can tear you down and convince you that you're not good enough, that your dreams are too big, that you'll never make it. The way you think shapes your reality. If you let negativity, doubt and fear dominate your thoughts, your life will follow that path. If you let positivity, faith and confidence guide your thinking, you'll begin to see opportunities everywhere, and your actions will reflect that. The problem is that many people don't realize how much control they actually have over their minds. They let their thoughts run wild, allowing every negative thought, every self-doubt, and every fear to take over. They're ruled by their emotions, constantly reacting to their circumstances rather than consciously deciding how they're going to respond. But here's the thing, your mind is not a passive spectator in your life. It's an active participant, and you have the power to control it. You have the power to change the way you think, the way you feel, and ultimately, the way you live. The key to mastering your mind is awareness. You can't change something if you don't know it's happening. Most people go through life on autopilot, letting their thoughts dictate their actions without ever questioning them. But once you become aware of your thoughts, you can begin to challenge them. You can ask yourself, is this thought serving me? Is it helping me move forward, or is it holding me back? You can start replacing negative thoughts with positive ones, limiting beliefs with empowering ones. You can train your mind to focus on solutions instead of problems, on growth instead of failure. Here's where most people get it wrong. They think that controlling their mind means ignoring negative thoughts altogether. They think that in order to be successful, they need to think positively all the time and never experience doubt or fear. But that's not realistic. Negative thoughts are a natural part of being human. You're going to feel fear. You're going to feel doubt. You're going to experience setbacks and failures. The key isn't to ignore those feelings or pretend they don't exist. The key is to not let them control you. It's about acknowledging those thoughts and feelings and then choosing not to let them dictate your actions. The mind is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. If you allow your mind to dwell on negativity, to focus on your limitations, to get stuck in fear and doubt, that's what your mind will become accustomed to. But if you actively practice focusing on solutions, on gratitude, on possibilities, on your strengths, that's what your mind will become. It's all about where you place your attention. And here's the secret, what you focus on grows. If you focus on the problems, the obstacles and the things you can't control, that's what you'll get more of. But if you focus on solutions, on the actions you can take, on the things that are within your power, you'll start to see results. One of the most powerful ways to control your mind is through mindfulness and meditation. These practices help you become more aware of your thoughts and emotions, so you can observe them without being consumed by them. When you meditate, you create space between yourself and your thoughts. You become the observer rather than the reactor. You learn how to detach from the thoughts that don't serve you, and you learn how to redirect your mind to thoughts that empower you. Meditation allows you to train your mind to stay calm in the face of adversity, to focus on the present moment, and to stay aligned with your goals. But mindfulness doesn't just have to be limited to formal meditation. It can be practiced throughout your day, in every moment. When you're faced with a challenge, you can choose to respond with a calm, clear mind, rather than reacting with fear or anxiety. When you feel doubt creeping in, you can pause, take a deep breath, and choose to focus on your strengths and your ability to overcome. It's about being present with your thoughts and emotions, but not letting them control you. When you take control of your mind, you take control of your life. Another powerful tool for controlling your mind is visualization. Visualization is a technique where you create a mental image of your success, your goals, your desired future. It's about seeing yourself already living the life you want to create. Visualization works because the brain doesn't differentiate between what's real and what's imagined. When you visualize yourself achieving your goals, your brain starts to believe that it's possible, and it sends out signals to your body that reinforce the actions you need to take to make that vision a reality. The more vividly you can imagine your success, the more your mind will start to believe it's possible. And when your mind believes something, it will guide your actions in that direction. But here's the catch: you can't just visualize and expect things to magically happen. Visualization is just one part of the equation. The real work comes from taking the actions that align with your vision. If you want to achieve something, you have to put in the work. You have to back up your visualization with real, consistent effort. The mind is a tool, and like any tool, it requires action to be effective. Another way to take control of your mind is through positive affirmations. These are statements you repeat to yourself that reinforce positive beliefs and empower you to take action. Affirmations help you reprogram your subconscious mind and replace negative self-talk with empowering thoughts. When you tell yourself, "I am capable, I am strong, I am worthy of success," you're conditioning your mind to believe it. And when your mind believes something, it will act in alignment with that belief. Affirmations aren't a magic cure, but they are a powerful tool for shifting your mindset and creating the mental foundation for success. Controlling your mind also means learning how to manage your emotions. Emotions can be powerful, but they don't have to control you. You can choose how you respond to your emotions. If you're feeling angry, frustrated, or scared, you don't have to act on those emotions. You can choose to take a step back, breathe, and respond from a place of clarity and calm. Emotions are natural, but they don't define you. You can control your reactions, and in doing so, you take control of your life. It's also important to recognize the impact of your environment on your mind. The people you surround yourself with, the media you consume, the spaces you inhabit, they all influence your thoughts and emotions. If you want to control your mind, you have to be mindful of the things that are feeding it. You have to choose your environment wisely. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who inspire you, who challenge you to be better. Fill your mind with positive, empowering information. Protect your mental space from negativity, and make sure you're feeding your mind the nutrients it needs to thrive. When you control your mind, you control your destiny. Your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape your life. If you want to change your life, you have to start by changing your thoughts. You have to take responsibility for your mindset and choose to cultivate thoughts that support your success. Because at the end of the day, your mind will either be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. The choice is yours. Chapter 10. Take action now. Because nobody will do it for you. The truth is, you're more capable than you know. Right now, you might be doubting yourself, thinking that you don't have what it takes to reach your goals. Maybe you've experienced failure or setbacks, and that little voice in your head is telling you it's not possible, that success is meant for someone else. But that's a lie. You have everything you need inside of you to achieve greatness. All you need to do is stop holding yourself back and start believing in the power that lies within. Success is not about luck, and it's not reserved for a select few. It's about harnessing your own inner power, shifting your mindset, and taking action. It's about waking up every single day and choosing to be the person who gets up and does what needs to be done, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable, even when you want to quit. The truth is, the only thing standing between you and your dreams is the decision to go after them with everything you've got. At some point, you've probably heard the phrase, "You can do anything if you put your mind to it." And while that sounds nice, it's easy to dismiss, especially when life throws challenges at you. But let me tell you something, that phrase is 100% true. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have at your disposal. If you learn how to unlock its full potential, there's nothing you can't accomplish. The real question is, are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to do what it takes, even when it feels impossible? Because the truth is, it's not about having the perfect plan or the perfect circumstances. It's about doing the work, day after day, even when things aren't going your way. It's about putting in the effort, even when no one's watching. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers, the ones who get up and keep going, no matter what. Imagine for a moment that your life is a canvas, and every day is a new stroke of paint. What kind of picture are you creating? Are you sitting idly by, waiting for inspiration to strike? Or are you taking control, choosing to make each day count, building towards something greater? Your actions today will shape the future you create. If you're sitting back, waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity, or the right circumstances, you're missing the point. The moment to take action is now. The time to start is today. No one is going to hand you success, and no one is going to give you permission to chase your dreams. You have to take it. You have to believe in yourself enough to know that you are worthy of everything you desire, and then you have to put in the effort to make it happen. When you look at the world's most successful people, it's easy to think that they have some special gift, some secret advantage that you don't. But that couldn't be further from the truth. The only thing they've mastered is discipline. They've learned how to overcome doubt, how to silence the excuses, how to show up every day, regardless of how they feel. They don't wait for motivation to strike. They create it. They know that success is built through consistent action, and they're willing to take that action day after day. That's the key. Success isn't about doing something extraordinary every once in a while. It's about doing something ordinary consistently. It's about showing up and putting in the work, even when it doesn't feel exciting, even when it's uncomfortable. The magic doesn't happen when you feel motivated. It happens when you keep going, even when you don't. You might be wondering, how do I stay disciplined when everything around me is falling apart? Well, here's the truth. It's exactly when everything feels chaotic that your discipline matters the most. It's when the world is throwing curveballs at you, when life is testing you, that your true strength is revealed. Discipline is not about waiting for things to be easy. It's about making the decision that no matter what comes your way, you're going to keep moving forward. Even when things are tough, you've got to keep going. Even when you feel like you can't do it anymore, you've got to dig deeper, push harder, and remind yourself of why you started. Every obstacle is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are stronger than anything life can throw at you. But it's not just about discipline. It's about perseverance. It's about refusing to give up when everyone else would. It's about being relentless in the pursuit of your dreams, even when things aren't going as planned. There's a saying, the moment you feel like giving up is the moment you need to push harder. And it's true. It's in those moments of struggle that you're building the foundation for success. It's when you keep going, even when it feels like nothing is working, that you start to see breakthroughs. Because success doesn't come to those who quit. It comes to those who keep going, who continue to show up, who continue to believe in themselves, even when the world seems like it's falling apart. And here's the secret: your results are a direct reflection of your effort. The more effort you put in, the more results you'll see. The more consistently you show up, the faster you'll achieve your goals. It's as simple as that. You can't expect to reach your dreams if you're not willing to put in the work. You can't expect to see progress if you're not taking action every single day. The universe doesn't reward people who talk about what they want. It rewards those who take massive action toward their goals, who are willing to do whatever it takes to make their dreams a reality. I know it's not always easy. I know there will be times when you feel discouraged, when you question yourself, when you wonder if it's worth it. But that's when you need to dig deep. That's when you need to remind yourself that you are capable of more than you realize. You've got everything you need to succeed. It's already inside of you. You just have to believe in yourself enough to take action, even when it feels difficult. You've got to make the decision right now that you're not going to give up. That no matter what happens, you're going to keep pushing forward. You're going to stay disciplined. You're going to keep going. And when you do that, when you refuse to quit, that's when you start to create the life you've always dreamed of. So the next time you feel like quitting, remember this: every step you take, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to your goal. Every effort you put in is moving you forward.